Hi friends. So today for math, you are going to need to make sure you have your volume 2 math book. We are going to start a new topic where we are going to talk about the perimeter, the outside of a shape. Okay, so our question today is, how do we find perimeter? Well, we will watch a video, we'll practice together, and then you will do some on your own. So here we go.
The distance around a figure is the perimeter. How do you find perimeter?
Let's find out.
Gus wants to put up a fence to make a dog park. He made two different designs. What is the perimeter of each dog park design? Which design should Gus use?
Okay, so when they talk about the perimeter, remember that's the outside of the shape. So here they have two different shapes, and let's figure out how to solve this problem.
The perimeter of the dog park needs to be at least 30 feet. Look at the drawings of the dog parks. How are the drawings different from each other?
All right, so besides the shape, we know the shape is different. Take a minute and look at each design. Besides the shape, what do you notice is different? Think about that for a minute.
The first drawing is on a grid that has a scale. The lengths are not labeled. The second drawing has lengths labeled. Why is there a scale, and what does it mean?
That's an important question, so think about that. Why do you think there's a scale, and what does it mean?
The scale is there to help you understand how to use the grid. It shows that 1 unit segment equals 1 foot.
It's not always going to equal 1 foot. So that's why if there's a scale, it's so important to pay attention to what measurement they're talking about, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's our next step after we look at that scale?
You can find the perimeter by counting unit segments. The perimeter is 34 feet. 34 is greater than 30. Gus could use this design. In the second drawing, add the lengths of the sides to find the perimeter. 3 plus 9 plus 7 plus 3 plus 6 equals 28. The perimeter is 28 feet. 28 is less than 30. Gus could not use this design. Why could Gus not use this design?
So if this design down here was 28, why can't he use it? Think about that. Think about the question and what they want. Remember, the perimeter of the dog park needs to be at least 30 feet. If this one's 28, it's pretty obvious why we can't use it, right?
28 feet is less than 30 feet, and Gus needs at least 30 feet of fence for the perimeter of the dog park. Now you know how to find the perimeter of a figure.
All right, guys. So now that you have a little bit better understanding, let's go ahead and make sure you have that topic 2 book. I'm going to share my page with you, and we're going to practice some together. Okay? So I am going to share my page, and you should be able to see. Yep. And I always have to do this 2 times. Let's see. Share it again. Okay, you should be able to see my workbook page. So you need to be on page 615. And we're really going to practice what they're talking about to find the perimeter. So the first thing we want to do is we notice this one's like that first one in our video. It has the grid, right? Let it focus for a minute. All right, so We want to look at the scale, and we know each box equals what? 1 foot. So when we count, when it's like this, we have to do a little bit more work. And what I want you to do along with me is make something called tick marks. So we're going to count each box. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this top line is across 6 of those squares, which means it's 6 feet. Okay, so we have to do that around every single edge of this shape. So let's go ahead and count over here. We've got 1, 2. So we know that's 2 feet. And we're going to keep doing it. 1, 2, 3. So right here we have 3 feet. Now here, you can't forget about this little guy right here. That's just 1. I'm going to go ahead and put that one right in here inside. That's 1 foot. Okay, so let's keep counting. 1, 2, 3. 3 what? 3 feet, right? And then our last side, 1, 2, 3 feet again. So it is so important when you have one that is on a scale like this, that you put these tick marks and you touch and you count every single box so that you don't forget it. That's going to be our first step. Now we have to add all of these together. So we have 6 plus, well, we can say 3 plus 3 plus 3, we should know 3 times 3 equals what? 9. Then we've got that 1, and we've got 2. So when we add that together, what do we get? Well, we have 9 plus 1 is what? 10. Then we've got 10 plus 6, which is what? 16. And then let's add 2 more, 16, 17, 18. So not just 18 though. 18 what? 18 cupcakes? No, 18 feet. So the perimeter, remember the perimeter is the outside, is 18 feet. Okay, so let's look at the question number 2. In question number 1, how do we know what unit to use for the perimeter? Well, we knew the unit was feet. How did we know that? You have to look at the what? You have to look at the scale. The scale will tell you the unit. Okay, so unit means like feet, meters, inches. Okay, speaking of inches, let's look over at number 3. The first thing we want to do is look at the scale. So we know our unit is what? Inches, right? And for the perimeter, when there is nothing written, our first step is to figure out the length of each of the sides of the shape. So let's go ahead and start. Remember, we make our mark, so we count every single one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 what? 5 inches, right? And then look over here, we just have 1. And right here, we just have 1. Over here, let's count 1, 2. Over here, let's count 1, 2, 3. Over here, we have 1. Right here, we have 1. And then we have 1, 2. And we know they were all inches. Okay, so we have a lot of numbers to add up. If you're doing it like mine and making sure you're making it nice and big, I want you to make sure you're making it so that you can read it and you can count and add them all together. So after we find out the length of each side, we have to add them together. So let's start with our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we've got 4 plus, oops, sorry, you can't see it. 4 plus 5 plus, oh, here's 2 plus 2. What's that? Plus 4 plus 3. Okay, so let's add them together. Well, we know 4 plus 4 is what? 8. All right, then 8 plus 5, what would that be? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then if we add 3 more, what do we get? What's 13 plus 3? 16, right? 16 what? 16 inches. Okay, so we've practiced 2 with the scale in the graph. When you do that, let's review. You want to make sure you first look at the what? The scale. Then you want to make sure you are using your tick marks and you are touching every single box and counting them and recording the length of that side. Okay. Then we have this one. This one's a little bit easier because they have already given us the length of each side. So then what do we have to do? We have to, what's our next step? For perimeter, we always add. So we have to add. That's our next step. So we've got 8 plus 8. We should know that right away, right? 16. Then we've got 16 again. And then we've got what? 7. And we've got 9. I want you to take a minute and add that up. Don't forget to put the unit that it's measured in. All right, let's see. Let's check our work. So let's see. We've got 6 plus 6 we know is 12. If we add 7 more, what do we get? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 plus 9, what do we get? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we know we're going to put down the 8 and carry the 2. And then in our tens place, we have 2, 3, 4. So you should have gotten 48 what? 48 feet. Okay? Hopefully by now you feel pretty comfortable on the 2 different ways to find the perimeter. Remember, the perimeter is the length around the outside of your shape. And when you do that, you add up all the sides. So what you are going to do is you are going to do number 5 on your own. Pay attention to the scale. You're going to do number 6 on your own. Pay attention to the scale. Okay, what do you need to make sure you're doing for 5 and 6? Using those tick marks, making sure that there is a length for every single side of this shape, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should have 8 numbers. And then what do? Add them together. Okay, you're going to do the same thing over here. Number 7, you don't have to do that first step. They already gave you the lengths. So you're going to just what? Add them up. Pay attention to the measurement, to the unit. Don't forget to put that in your answer. Okay, then look at number 8. On the grid below, draw a figure with the perimeter of 20 units. So that means the total has to equal 20. I want you to try that one on your own. Have mom and dad help you if you need it, okay? Have them check your work. you can draw many different shapes that have the same perimeter. So the way I might draw a 20 unit perimeter might not be the same as yours. It's up to you. Okay, remember just adding them all together. Each side has to make a total of 20 units. Okay, each side when we add them together. And then on the back, these are your discussion post questions. You're going to do number 10, put a little star next to that. You are going to do number 13 and number 14. Okay, those are the only ones you need to do on the back, but then you're going to post your answer for 10, 13, and 14. Okay, guys? All right, I hope you understand a little bit more about perimeter, and we will practice this all week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Mrs. Peters, and we will talk to you later. All right, bye.